Hi again and welcome back to the Tech Checker channel. Today I want to continue with another video of mine, which I haven't done in a while yet actually, but now I'm back. At the moment I'm making a series about habits. With proper habits I was able to outsource my discipline and therefore make my first $1 million actually, because you can make 10 times better software with the proper habits. A habit is a small program, an automated routine that you do without thinking about the small steps and decisions that are part of it. We all know something about habits, like, it's just a habit, I wasn't thinking about it, sorry. We often say that to excuse us when we do something by routine, or better, when it just did something by routine. The brain uses those routines so that it can concentrate on other things and have those repeated actions covered that are the same every day, or very often at least anyway. But why should you bother about habits? The thing is, when you want to go to the dentist because your teeth hurt, then you just need some willpower to call the dentist and make an appointment. This is a one-time action. Once you have done it, you are finished and everything will be fine. Your teeth will get repaired. But what if you want to lose weight or gain muscles? You can't just go to the gym or go running once and expect any form of result from that. You have to go there over and over again, repeatedly, for years. No willpower in this world is high enough to let you decide, I go running now for 10 years, every day, yay! And then you just do it. Like a soldier. Yet still, there are people who successfully go for a run every day. The trick is not willpower. The trick is automatism. The renowned professor Wendy Woods found out in her studies that whenever some goal needs repeating actions, you need another technique than willpower or discipline. You need a form of automatism. She and her team found out that sportsmen don't think about the training they are doing, but instead, their minds wander to vacations or whatever. The mind is disconnected from their routine actions. The training itself is therefore automated by another part of the brain, the basal ganglia, which is a part separated from our conscious mind. It always takes over when we are facing a known problem and need a fast routine solution. It sounds fun, but there's a part of our brain that just overrides our conscious mind in certain situations. And we let it do that because we are used to it. We don't even question that part of our brain. This all happens usually when you are brushing your teeth, or you are cooking, for those who can cook, you're watching TV, or in your spare time, by checking social media on the toilet, for example. Or when you're getting up, drive your car, etc. But even tiny things like the way you drink or the way you touch the handle of the front door while leaving the house may have already become a habit and thus work completely without thinking about it consciously. Even when your long-term memory gets hurt due to an accident, scientists found out that you can still form new habits and thus use them to navigate through the world or learn a new language, as those things are not stored in your long-term memory. The biggest advantage of habits is, however, the excitingly fast reaction time of them, as habits are basically automated pre-calculated decisions on how to act on certain triggers. They can be very fast, a skill that came in quite handy in the wildlife thousands of years ago. When a man saw a tiger, or a woman for example saw a tiger, he or she instantly fought it or ran away in a matter of milliseconds. The better trained he was or she was, the higher her survival chances were. But even in our modern world, we still benefit from habits, as we can do our everyday tasks by concentrating on something totally different. We don't waste our willpower in the daily routine. This is a great help on the one hand, but on the other hand, your brain cannot distinguish between bad and good habits. Between habits that lead you to your goals and habits that knock you off course. Everything you do repeatedly will become a habit. When you haven't reached your goals in life, you know it is your fault. It's the fault of your unconscious, habitual basal ganglia and other parts of your brain that are just not set up properly. I mean, don't get me wrong, a habit always makes sense. If you eat lots of chocolate, in stressful situations, then the chocolate helps you deal with the stress. But then again, you become fat. So you better think about a habit and find another way around, like another habit. Avoid the stress, or do sports instead, for example, to calm down. Your habits should be tailored to your targets and inner wishes to help you make them come true. In this course, we want to help you to become aware of your habits, to spot them and to decide if you want to keep them or change them so that they serve your goals. How does a habit actually work then? There are 3 parts of this. First part is the trigger or the cue. This could be an event like the noise of your alarm clock in the morning, beep, 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 It could also be a certain feeling, you feel hungry or stressed, or even another habit, like after brushing your teeth, you drink a glass of water. The second part is the reaction to the trigger. In this case, in our case, you might want to get up after the alarm tone, or you want to eat something after feeling hungry. And then the third part, finally, is the reward that you get after successfully finishing your action. Or better, you might get this reward even by simply thinking about the action. Without this dopamine flush in your brain, you will very likely stop doing the habit after a time. However, a habit can also occur without this reward being visible, especially when the reward comes only sometimes. Your brain kind of freaks out and can't stop doing the actions to check if there is a reward this time or next time. Like, is this next video on TikTok funny or not? Maybe I watch another one. Oh, this is funny. Oh, finally. This was funny. That's why Instagram, TikTok and so, that's why they are so addictive. Because you don't get the reward every time. Sometimes the videos are boring. For our course, we have to distinguish between 2 kinds of rewards. There's an instant reward. The salad tastes good or the burger tastes good and you don't feel hungry anymore. Your brain stores this positive confirmation and will do this habit again now. And there's a long-term reward. You are in shape because you did not eat the cookie. The problem is that the long-term reward, which we all want to do, these are the goals, right? This long-term reward is no match for the short-term reward. Eating a cookie creates a high reward, a high dopamine, whereas the thought of being in shape in 2 years or in 10 years generates no reward at all. It makes sense logically to spare the cookie. You are aware of it, you know this. But it is not very pleasing right now to stay hungry. The trick here is to combine the long-term reward with another short-term reward. We will show you how this works in the upcoming lessons.